concept of vertical farming, the idea of growing plants inside buildings, was first suggested over 20 years ago. But it is only now, with low energy LED lighting and new efficiencies in renewable energy generation and battery storage, that vertical farms are proving just how productive and cost efficient they are. Suddenly, they are springing up all over the world. Typical vertical farms produce 10 times more crops than traditional farms. They use no pesticides and they aren't affected by bad weather, which is increasingly important as we suffer more extreme weather because of our overheated atmosphere. Vertical farms layer their plants in sliding racks, but they don't use soil. They grow the crops in water, which is laced with the natural nutrients plants need to grow. Hydroponics uses 70% less water than traditional farming because water is purified and reused. The crops get light in which to grow from white and coloured LED lamps, and the colours can be tuned and altered to provide just the right wavelength for different stages in the growth cycle. And many types of crops can be grown in close proximity because there's no risk of airborne contamination. This is controlled environment agriculture, and the advantages are that the farmers can control all the factors affecting the plants. In the last year, the vertical farming sector has exploded, receiving billions in new investment. San Francisco-based Plenty, a firm backed by Jeff Bezos, Eric Schmidt and SoftBank, has announced plans to build vertical farms next to every major city in the world. But this isn't a new idea. There are already 196 commercial vertical farms operating in Asia. In the UK, the government is advocating rewilding large segments of British farms and looking at vertical farms as a new way to feed the population. Permission is now being sought for 50 new vertical farms in Britain. The countryside faces transformation as farmers plan to plant trees to replace their fields, and they can grow crops all round in the new vertical farms. Vertical farms can also fit inside cities. Growing underground uses defunct air raid shelters under London and have plans for 6 more sites. It may even be that as vertical farming systems improve further, miniature domestic versions will be designed for people to put in their own kitchens, providing fresh salad and vegetables at the point of consumption. But it's not just vegetable production that's moving indoors. Artificial meat is now being grown in laboratories using stem cells to grow new animal tissue on collagen scaffolds. Although still at an experimental stage, edible and tasty bacon, chicken and steak have already been produced and without a single animal being harmed. I think indoor vegetation cultivation is going to explode in the near term. Farming used to be an outdoor activity, but traditional arable farms will rapidly start to disappear, and they can be returned to woodland for the sake of the climate. And because of the massive contribution cattle and livestock make to greenhouse gas emissions, I think much more meat will also be grown artificially indoors. This is the second agricultural revolution, and because of the climate crisis, it cannot come too quickly.